If you are in 7th or 8th grade and you're thinking, what should I be doing for college right now? It seems way too early. I want to give you 3 tips that you can actually work on right now. My name is Miss G. I'm Eva Goetze. I'm the founder of College Advising Boutique, and I've helped over 1,200 students over the last 20 years get into Yale, UC Berkeley, UCLA, and a whole bunch of colleges. You can check me out on College Advising Boutique. Let's go right into this. Do 20%, 10. I was talking to 2 parents today, and they have younger kids, elementary school, 3rd grade, 5th grade. And so this topic came up, and it's come up a lot with parents that have 5th, 6th graders. They're like, we don't need to think about college. And I'm always, there are things you can do to prepare early. And a big thing is PSATs. So I wanted to see if they say anything about PSATs in here. And I don't see it, but let's see what they do have. And then we can go over why PSATs might be a cool thing to study for when you're in 7th and 8th grade. Number 1, advanced math track. So this may or may not relate to you if you think that you're going to be going into business, economics, computer science, psychology. It just depends what avenue do you think your teen will be getting into. I always think it's smart to have a strong math background, especially if you're comparing you amongst 10,000 other students. However, it's not a must. It just depends what the major career path and stuff is. Reading and writing mastery. This relates to the same thing. I've had students that were really just math came super easy to them. And then the reading and writing were not as strong, and it was really difficult for them, but they were still able to get into great colleges because they were focusing a lot more heavily on their portfolio for math, engineering, and their entire internships and everything related to math and science. So this is something I think is actually a really good example. If I'm in 7th and 8th grade, what can I do to really stand out? And it's really becoming a leader in these projects, diving in and really striving for excellence. There are those science projects that are just humdrum, but then there's others that take it to the next level. If you're able to get an award, it's phenomenal. You won't be able to put it necessarily towards your high school transcripts. You can put it in your resume though. If you're trying to get a job, you want to be a leader in a club, maybe you started something in 7th and 8th grade and you can show the time. I've done this for 6 years, right? On my resume, I've done this for 3 years. So I think competitions are a big thing if you get into robotics, etc. That kind of relates to building a passion project. This can also be its own thing. And the reason why I say that is you don't want to be choosing passion projects that other people have already done. Now, I'm not saying you have to reinvent the wheel, but I want you to think of in your ultimate career path, when you go on LinkedIn and you find someone that's doing exactly what you want to be doing, what are some projects they might have done when they were younger? And that might be maybe step 1. Figure out, of course, after I'm thinking about, for example, going into sports medicine. And a passion project might be, I want to interview 50 sports medicine. And maybe that's too much of a number. Let's just say 5. I want to interview 5 sports medicine people. And maybe you want to do it in your home state. I'm just going to say California. That's where I'm living right now. And so I would immediately go in, and we don't even have to reinvent the wheel. You can go on LinkedIn, or for a passion project, give me, I'll just say 7 concise ideas in the major of, what did I say, sports medicine. And I'm going to put live in San Diego, California. What would help me stand out? And then also maybe could it be like a business hustle as well? Should it be a newsletter, a blog, etc.? And I'm diving a little bit more into this because this is something that you can continue building every single summer, every single year. And this right here, when they say self-initiative, this is something when you're in an interview, why should we pick you? Like, this is really something that you could write in your essay and you can interview about. So here are some ideas that they had about sports medicine, San Diego standing out. And so you can really use ChatGPT to help you, obviously, get ideas, but then you need to take it to the next level. Youth injury prevention workshops. That's one idea. You can look into San Diego specifics. You can find other examples. What are the top schools that already have this? Can you talk to the coaches? Some people don't want to be on YouTube per se, and maybe they don't want to do a blog, but they might do so LinkedIn has newsletter avenues. Medium is a type of newsletter that's really sought after. And so This is just one idea to take one of the bullets, for example, passion project, and expand it. Sports medicine club for teens, of course. If this is going to be your major, your career, you want to be a leader in this. If there's already one that exists, you can go ahead and start supporting it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. But if you're finding that you're not getting a leadership role and you're not being able to manage a project, this is your opportunity to take it to the next level. Maybe there's already sports medicine, for example. I don't know if there is, but maybe there's not one for elementary school students or for high school women in golf, right? So you can get super specific and start that club. And then if you do events or if you meet monthly or weekly, then you can go ahead and relate it to also, the newsletters, and you could have people speak, etc., and just connecting and networking. So that's something huge. Okay, let's go back up here and see what else we have, or ChatGPT gave us. So we mentioned build a passion project, summer enrichment programs. So this is interesting. Sometimes there's an age limit. Sometimes this is also for one that can afford it. Not everyone can afford it, but it might be something that you can apply for and see if they have financial aid. You can also raise money for it. But a summer enrichment program, let me give you a quick example, like Stanford summer program. Sorry, that's not spelled right, for high school. So let me show you a few things that they have here. Stanford High School Summer Session. So let me see if they have, there we go, programs. That's what we want. Advanced science program. So if you're thinking about going into science, AI in medicine. So these are some of the examples. And again, you can see like they might have certain, you have to double check. This is obviously for last year. 2-week virtual programs. See which things kind of resonate. You don't just go sign up for a whole bunch of these. It might not necessarily be worth your time. I'd argue that, of course, because you can connect with these people one-on-one. You can network with them. You can connect with the professors. You can see what projects and ideas, like just being in this room is really, really impactful. Look at this: anatomy, neuroscience, all this stuff is for high school, educational studies. There was a student I spoke with yesterday. I was getting my nails done, and she is going to a Georgia Tech business summer high school program, something like that. So let's see what they have here. There we go. So I think this is the one that she was talking about, and it was specifically for business. You can see that they're taking on these cool projects, great pictures, great experience. You can put this on your resume as well. And again, like I said before, I was like, I think this is maybe more of a high school thing, but this might be just a great idea to see in your town. Is there something similar for 7th, 8th grade, right? I know there's different talks for electricity, and electricians will, come to a school and see if they'll come to your school, reach out to them, right? So there's nothing wrong with you being proactive. Just make sure you're safe and you have an adult with you, and, all that stuff. So this is just something to read. So you can see those right there, just the Stanford and the Georgia Tech. Those are 2 ideas to get programs. Obviously that's for high school, but this is just to start, what can I start doing and learning? This also looks a little cheaper than some of the other ones. Just be careful of deadlines and figuring out places to stay and be safe. Okay, let's see. So other than summer enrichment, and again, I wouldn't just choose a program. I would choose something specific to your major, to your career path. So before you even start looking at programs, that would be more of like a first pre-assessment. What are your gaps? What are your goals? What's your major? And all that fun stuff. I can do a whole video on that. If coding is in your realm, this might be something good. You can also do online classes. Coursera has so many cool things. Let me show you real quick. Coursera. Let's say I looked up construction management. Let's just say we want to do something for coding. I don't know. I'm sure you already have this in school. But this lets you kind of see there's a variety of things that some of these you have to pay for. Reject all. Some of them will give you a certificate that you can go ahead and put on your resume. Some of them have a variety of courses, and you could see here Maybe you have these two, but you don't have this one. So you can just jump right into it. You can read about the details, see how many hours, like you could technically do all this. Maybe this would be, over a course of 3 to 4 weeks. This would be 1 or 2 weeks. This one would be 1 or 2 weeks. So this would be a really great summer course to just not waste time and make sure that when someone asks, what did you do this summer? I know it sounds a little nerdy, but this is a really cool specialization. Okay, let's wrap this up because we're already beyond our 10 minutes. Music, art, athletics. This is always fun. If you are thinking about doing a sport in high school and in college, this of course is a must. It might be with a club. I would also argue, see what leadership roles you can get during that time. Volunteer, of course, I would recommend you could hyper focus on your major as well over here. And you can ask ChatGPT, what are 7, I say 7, but really it could be 10. What are 10 volunteer ideas, maybe like hustles, business I can do that, whatever, maybe you want to help the community. And let's say you want to do it something about like dentistry, but like pre-dentistry or vet. Maybe we'll just say like a medical realm. So let's see what they come up with. So you can see you can kind of just go down the rabbit hole here. Smile Kit fundraiser. So you can maybe work with your dentist and see if they'll donate. You could reach out to 50 different schools or 50 different dentists, call them up or email them, see if they'll donate, 10 to 20 toothbrushes. And that right there is an amazing fundraiser. This is a really good idea, actually. They have stuff for pets. I know one of my students wants to be a vet. Different things for podcasts. There's so many cool ideas out there. Just see which thing is going to be most impactful and can give you some really cool experiences, because that's the whole point of doing all this, right? Okay, last thing real quick, plan high school strategy. I would say this could probably wait, maybe when you're going into 8th grade. You don't necessarily have to plan 9th, 10th grade quite yet, other than the academics and making sure that when like the clubs are, when you need to sign up for honors classes, etc., and making sure that everything you're taking is going towards that top 3 to 5 majors that you hyper focus on in that career path. Again, whether it's, psychology or it's the medical realm, or you want to do something in AI, everything should have a specific path, a plan for that. One thing that is not here is basically if you get a high score, and I'm going to put that in here. If I get a super high, let's say top 1% score for PSAT during 9th grade, what scholarship or what happens, right? Do you get an award or what is that? And this is something that you could be preparing for super early. And I know who wants to study tests, but this is really something that can give you a ton of money for. It's great street cred. It looks good on resumes, etc. And this is the whole point of this video, actually. I want to make sure you guys know this. So let's see what it says here. I'm going to make it big because I am blind. And I'm sorry, I'm down over here. There we go. Scoring in the top 1% on the PSAT in 9th grade is a strong indicator of academic potential, but most national scholarships like National Merit are based on the 11th grade PSAT, not the 9th grade version. Okay, that's good to know. Here's what happens or can be leveraged with a high score, limited for 9th grade. And maybe I shouldn't have put 9th grade, maybe I should have put 10th grade, right? College Board Recognition Program. So this is something highest scoring students, colleges might start noticing you, different associations might start noticing you, and you can also reach out to them for scholarships, for grants, and you could even put this and include it in your resume. I scored top 1% PSAT, my score was blah, blah, blah. I also am whatever, I started my own business and I help customize shoes, whatever that is. Number 2, academic talent search programs. We had already mentioned that. They also look like they recognize top scorers, which is fantastic. So this is just something to start kind of just looking into, so that there's I don't want you wasting time. If you're wondering how in the world do I find the PSAT, let me show you 2 different realms. First, you can go to college advisingboutique.com. This is my website, of course. I have free resources on here once it loads. Beautiful. So we go to resources. And then you'll see over here we have free SAT practice tests. You can go ahead and just jump right in. Start taking that free PSAT. You can just click here. I also have ACT, and not either, like sorry, I'm feeling tired. Neither one is better than the other. The free SAT and the free ACT, I recommend take them both. See which one you just naturally do better in. For some, their brains just work better with the AC. The way that they ask questions are a little different versus the SAT. Maybe the math speaks to you more, or you like the reading better, etc. So that's what I would recommend. There's also a variety of just awesome resources. You can click here and you can go ahead and check all this out. So that is on my resources, my website. And then for PSAT practice test, you can Google it. There's also free stuff with Kaplan test prep right here. As you can see, College Board. What I recommend is don't give them your personal email. Create a college email. Maybe it's, for example, my name is Eva, so it might be evacollegesuccess@gmail.com. And then everything that relates to college, that's what I put for. So if I was creating something, boom, that's what I would use. Full link, SAT, practice tests, or PSAT, etc. Okay, anyway, I know we are getting pretty up on time here. Thank you so much for checking out what can I be doing right now in middle school to be like, top 20%, get ready for high school, really honing in on that major, and then figuring out what are some programs that relate to that career and those programs so that I can just differentiate myself from my competitors. And also you'll have more fun. Like high school will have a focus. Your internships, your clubs, your essays, your jobs, everything is going toward that North Star, like your why. And it just makes it more exciting. If you have any questions or you'd like to book a one-on-one, you can go on my website. You can just click right here where it says get started. And then you can choose a time that works best for you. You can see right here, I have a variety of questions, and all you have to just do is click a time that works, and then you go from there. All right. Thank you so much again, and I will see you all next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.